we're back at it. It's so crazy. I do not feel like we had a summer, but we're back at it. We're doing the thing. It's the first day of school. Let's do it. It's first day back. I had kids like back to back to back. With like my schedule's a little bit different this year, so it goes still like fourth, fifth, first, third, second, but my time in between fourth and fifth grade and then fifth and first grade got shortened a little bit, so it's like 10 minutes, so it's like just enough time to like get stuff ready and away we roll. But yeah, we're back. I realized I did not, like in my last video, I showed like all the clips from Albania and didn't do like any talking, and like it was good. Mom and I had a good time. Super pretty sights, but like logistics wise, there's some stuff that they have to work out. Like if this is like the capital, Tirana, there's one road going north to like all the stuff that's north. There's like really not a road that goes east. There's one road that goes south and then one that goes west. And then that's the only road that goes into the coast. This one does not go to the coast unless you go all the way down and then go up. So trying to get anywhere was crazy. Like when we went to Shala River, it took us like 3 hours to get there. And like the first two were fine in the tour bus that we were in. The last one, they had said they haven't repaved that road since like when they were under communism. And it's like, there's parts where there's no pavement or there's gravel and it's like super like and like super curvy and really skinny. I don't understand how our bus driver did it. When we were driving, like we saw a car that had like must have just like gone too fast around one of the corners, and he's like hanging over the side, and they were like getting people to come get the vehicle. So I was like, So like that last little bit, which actually shouldn't be that long to get there, took like an extra hour. And then to get back, because there's only one road going back to the capital, it took us 6 hours. It literally took us the amount of time that we were like, we got to be on the boat ride for like an hour, and then we were there for, I want to say like 2 or 3, and then we had an hour back like in the riverboat, which was pretty. But like the actual time in the bus at the end was like more than when we were actually there. So that was just aggravating. And then the other places that we went to were fine, but yeah, because there's only like one main road to go everywhere, it significantly like slows things down. So I was like, Albania, you pretty, but like you gotta work on your logistics. So I would wait like 5 years. Like if anyone wanted to go, I think I would say like give them 5 years, because as much as like they want tourists, I don't think they're set up for it yet. And then like when we were talking to some of our guides, they were saying how like a lot of the younger generation is leaving because the minimum wage are so low, that they're leaving to go to like other countries in the EU. So I don't know how sustainable it's gonna be for them to like continue with tourism. So pretty, but I liked Croatia better. Just because part of it too is like I go for like the wide streets and like the parts that you saw of last month, like in Corfu. Like when we got to Corfu, I was like, this is what I was expecting. But we didn't really get that in Albania, but I think partly because of communism. Like they were saying how a lot of like any building that was deemed religious got torn down. So like all of their old, like they showed like pictures of like old churches and stuff, and they were all torn down. So they're rebuilding stuff, which is great, but I like to see like the old architecture, and you couldn't really see a ton of that. And I was like, I get you could just like leave it not there, but I was like, you can rebuild it. Like our palaces that are in Korea, a lot of them are like rebuilt because of fires and stuff, or the Japanese occupation. So I'm like, rebuild them, it's pretty. But yeah, that was pretty much it. And then today was first day of school. So I don't have my second grade class because we have our welcome assembly, so I'll get to like meet them, but they won't be in here. But yeah, this week I'll just have 20 different times where I'm doing the intro spiel. It's funny how like fast or slow I can get through it depending on how old they are, so how many times they've heard it. So like 4th grade, I would say like medium pace. 5th grade, we were able to get through it a little bit quicker because kids remember, they're like, oh, this is there, this is there, this is how we do this. And then I had 1st grade after 5th grade, and I was like, we have to go slower. Like, they've never been in this room, whereas all my other kids have. So I was like, this is where things are located. This is who I am. You've never probably met me before. But yeah, hopefully we'll start it off right. I mean, I'm tickled because I have all those pictures of Toby in here, or I should say like the AI versions of Toby, and they crack me up. Like the ones I'm looking at them like right behind me on the floor of him like with his paws on the table with like a picture, and then the one where he's like putting like the brushes away. It just cracks me up. So I'm like, I don't know if the kids will fully notice it. I pointed them out, but I was like, I don't know if they'll notice it, but they bring me joy.
Heard about summer snow. When it falls on you, your blood runs cold. But don't you sweat your pretty skin, 'cause it melts away for it sinks in. And you dream about this very night, when the moon runs down the summer sky. Could it be the morning of the spring, when the sea runs dry and start to sing? Have you heard from the sky all about it? Down the river, high tide flows around it. Through the whispers of pines, I hear them sing. The more you love, the more you live. Do you ever feel like going back, when nothing seemed to be a drag? You read until your legs gave way, then you cried and got back up again. And it's real to think that I could fly across a broken bridge in the fading light.
I think it's so cute. I had a student, they're like, during sketchbook time, was so wanting to like make this on Canva and then wanted to show it to me because they're like, look, my sign in. All of these links that we have go to Zentangle Ideas, which they did Zentangles the year prior. So I just thought it was so cute that they were so proud. They're like, we're gonna keep updating this, so it'll have tons of stuff with Zentangles. I was like, aw, they were so proud to show it to me. I was like, that's so cute. It's Thursday, 14th. Yeah, 14th of August. It's our open house tonight. We don't have school tomorrow because it's Liberation Day. We're into the second week of school. Kids are getting into the routine. We're starting to do intros to things. Which is all grand. But I noticed, not fun check-in, I noticed about 2 weeks ago, I was like sitting on my couch and you get that feeling when you're like, I feel like someone's watching me. And so right behind when I'm sitting on the couch, there's like a window. And so I turned around and it's literally right behind me. And there's a guy there. And like he's looking in the window, and then the moment I make eye contact with him, he just starts doing this and like backs up and walks away. So I thought it was weird. I texted Melanie and Emily and was just like, this is weird. Like I've had like an old lady a couple times knock on my door before, but she was clearly like looking for someone. Like, I think she thought they used to live there, because then when I opened the door, she was like, oh, and then she left. She tried Emily's door, and then I was also like, that person doesn't live here, and she's like, oh, and so then she left. But the fact that he didn't like try to ring the doorbell or like knock or anything, it was weird. So I just thought it was weird and kind of brushed it off. And then a little bit later, I got a message from Emily, and she was like, it was like 9 at night. It was a little bit after 9, and she goes, did you just get a package delivered? And I didn't see it till the next morning, but I was like, no, why? And when she went to take her trash out that night, she noticed this guy just like up on our landing, which the only people that ever should come up to the second floor, it's just her place and my place, and then a dead end. And she was like, there was just a guy hanging out by your window, like in between our apartments. And she goes, the moment I took out my trash and I looked at him, like he left, but he was wearing a bandana. And I was like, okay, like I wonder if it's the same guy. Like that's weird. And then I was like, maybe it was our landlord checking something. But then also I was like, wouldn't he knock? Like, why would you just be randomly looking in a window? So especially after that second time, then when Emily saw him, we were like, okay, this is weird. And because she noticed the bandana, we started to notice and just kind of watch. And she was like, I'm noticing this like older gentleman with a bandana in the morning. And she's like, at first I thought maybe he lived in one of the bottom units, because we're actually the people at our apartment, like villa, that have been there the longest. Everyone else has like moved in or moved out. So she's like, I thought maybe we had a new neighbor, but no, because every time we see this guy, he leaves. Like he doesn't just go downstairs. Like we see him leave the alleyway. And that's also weird because ours is like tucked behind, like off the main road. So the only people who should be coming in that alleyway are only coming for our villa. There's like no other villas you can really get to from there to like go in front of ours. And I started to notice, I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time, but I started to notice this random guy that was like walking through ours pretty much, where it made no sense unless, again, that you live there. Like it's not a shortcut to get anywhere. It is just weird. And so I kind of noticed, again, him like lurking by like we're on the second floor. I noticed him lurking by kind of like the first floor. And so last night, got home from the gym, and I noticed him down by like the first level around like probably like 7:30, and was like, okay, I clocked at that time because now I was starting to pay attention. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's the guy, but he didn't come up to our landing. He just like walked by again. But again, why are you using our random alleyway as like a through street? It is not meant for that. And so I always have this habit of when I start to get ready for bed, I turn all the lights off and I turn like the lamp on in my back bedroom. So it's pretty dark. And I noticed as I was like going in and out from like the back bedroom to like the front area, I saw him again. And I just had a gut instinct. I was like, how much you want to bet? And so I went into the living room, and my window with the living room, I can see him walk up like the walkway and look into my main window. So he walks up the walkway, and I'm like hiding, crouched down by this window, and I see him look in this window, and I'm shooting myself for not taking a photo, because he came up the walkway, and I just watched him like look into my window. And it's so gross. Like, why are you getting that close? My mind automatically goes like, are you going to try to get in here? And then I worry about Toby, because I'm like, he's my prized possession. He's my baby. So I don't know if you're some creep that would like sell a dog or something. That's where my mind goes. I know it could be worse. I don't even want to take my mind there. But my mind is like on Toby. And he was looking through my window. And rather than taking a photo, which I should have done, I smacked the window and I yelled, "What are you doing here?" And then he proceeded to like leave. But it was creepy enough that I was like, I messaged Emily again, and we put in a ticket with housing. And then like 2 minutes after I put the ticket in with housing, I was like, no, actually I have, in Korea, we have like an app for the police station and an app for the like emergency services and fire department. So I got on the app for the police station and I filled out a report about like what had been happening and that we've been noticing this guy. And it's getting more and more frequent, which is why it's creepy. And especially like to blatantly be coming up, like you can't even pretend you're doing anything else because no one else should be up there and you're looking in my window. So I filled out the report and then got a message like within 5 minutes, like, okay, the police will be in your area. So I messaged Emily and I was like, I know it's late, I'm sorry, but like they're on their way. So they came out and it was a whole ordeal. They took our statements and they were like, well, maybe, like, did you ever think maybe he used to live here? And then we both were like, she's been here for this many years, I've been here for this many years. And they're like, oh, and we're like, even before that, the two that lived in my apartment were two females. So no, like he did not used to live here. The police got confused for a while. They're like, because they asked for our landlord's contact information and we're like, we don't have it. And they're like, how do you live here monthly if you don't have it? And we're like, it goes to our school contacts our landlord if we ever have any issues with housing of like needing repairs. So then we had to call David to see if he had the housing director's phone number. And so then I felt bad being like, yeah, we haven't been telling you about this, but yeah, we have some random guy that's looking into our windows. Can we have Caleb's number? So then the one like police detective was taking down my statement while the other two, Emily was talking with Caleb on the phone. And so then she handed it to them because Caleb could speak in Korean with them and tell them like why we don't have our landlord's information and all that. So that was an eventful night. That was super fun. And then by the time like they left and they took both my statement and Emily's statement, we both were just like so much adrenaline of like, let's see if he comes back kind of thing. And so I made sure when I got my air con fixed, was it earlier this month or last month? It was like leaking. So I had them come check it out. And I think I flipped off my motion sensor light for outside. So I made sure I had it flipped back on so that it goes off with motion. So I think I went to bed around 12:30 and then woke up at 1:22 and my light was on. And I just like waited till it flipped off. And then I like peeked out, even though I was like, he'd be gone by now because the light went off. But it's so creepy. Like I was making such a flippant joke about it where I was like, here's the thing. If you're gonna do that, like you don't have to be this close to my window to do it. Like if you're going to be a weird peeping Tom, like you can see that window from like the main street. But the moment you come this close and like you're in my personal bubble of like you're by my window, I'm assuming that you're looking in because you're either looking for stuff that's in there or you're gonna break in eventually. Because you're getting this brazen that you're coming up to our landing, which no one else should be. So I was like, if you're gonna just creep, be a faraway creep, because then I know that you're never gonna come up here and do anything. But to actually like come up here, then I'm like, then I worry that you're gonna try to get in. So we are, I think, gonna try to get, I think Caleb's gonna look into it, like a motion activated camera. Because we have like, that's the thing is like Korea's super safe and there's CCTVs everywhere, but there isn't one in our alleyway because there's not supposed to be foot traffic. It's literally just the people that go to like our apartment villa, which is like ground floor, us, third floor, fourth floor. Like it shouldn't be that many people. So yeah, had a short night and then couldn't fall asleep, and then now we have open house today, so it'll be a long day, which is great. But at the very least, we don't have school tomorrow, which will help a little bit. But at least like everyone was super sweet about it. Like Melanie kept me company on the phone. Like she waited until I called her and I was like, the cops are coming. I like explained it and I was like, okay, I'm filing a police report. She stayed on the phone while I'm filing it. And then I was like, okay, the cops are here. And so then we got off the phone and she's like, you call me back. I am not going to bed until you call me back. So then that whole thing happened. Then I called her back. And there was like one where I was like, I think she just subconsciously knew. She's like, I'm gonna need to stay on the phone with you for a while because you're not gonna sleep anyway. You need someone to just like distract you. So we chatted for a while, poor thing. And then Emily and I texted back and forth a little bit and tried going to bed around, I think it was like 12:27 was the last time when I like made sure my alarms were set for the morning. And then yeah, I heard it's so stupid, like I must be such a light sleeper, especially if I'm stressed, because I heard my light click on and it literally just makes a tiny clicking noise, but I can hear it. And then I think it was like the combination of like the click and the fact that like from my room, it's not like I get a bunch of the light, but I got just enough that I woke up and I looked out and I was like, the light was on. Now it could have been like a cat or something, but there's a part of me that's like, how much you want to bet he was curious about the fact that he got caught? Who knows? Who knows? I hate it. I currently have the blinds down and I'm such a window person. So even like this morning, the fact that I like went out into like my like area by the kitchen and I was like, I can't even see out, just made me aggravated. So yay, gotta love that. And I'm sure some people will be like, well, you have a dog, like, you'll be fine. Like, my dog would do nothing. I have to become like the bear because I have to protect dog because he would do nothing. He's too sweet. So that is our mid-month check-in. So fun. Yeah.
How you move it, how you wind it up. We can jump into it, we can line it up. We can stay slow, what you mean? We can stay slow, what you mean? Yeah. Be somebody tonight, doing that dance, digging that dance. I look. Be somebody tonight, be somebody tonight. Pull up on me. We've got so much to see. Maybe I can show you now. Tear your top with the top down. Baby, I don't wanna hit the friend zone. Like I'm in the end zone. When you're right back, got me loco. Got me saying love you, not the coco. I love it how you move it, how you wind it up. We can jump into it, we can line it up. We can stay slow, what you mean? We can stay slow, what you mean? Yeah. Be somebody tonight, doing that dance, digging that dance. I know. Somebody tonight, be somebody tonight. Baby, I don't wanna hit the friend zone. Let's do it like I'm in the end zone. When you're right back, got me loco. Got me saying love you.